The highest paid professionals in most fields share a counterintuitive trait. They think less than their peers. Not because they're careless, not because they're impulsive, but because they've learned something most people never realize. Thinking has a cost structure. Every hour spent in analysis is an hour not spent in execution. Every decision delayed is a decision that compounds into missed opportunity. And in knowledge work, opportunity has a price tag. The question isn't whether you should think. The question is how much thinking is actually profitable. Most intelligent professionals operate past the point of diminishing returns without ever noticing. They believe more analysis equals better outcomes. But the data tells a different story. This is about the hidden economics of cognitive effort and why the ability to think less strategically might be your highest leverage skill. High performing knowledge workers face a specific cognitive trap. They confuse thinking with productivity. The problem isn't a lack of intelligence, it's an excess of unstructured mental processing applied to decisions that don't scale with analysis. Here's the mechanism. Most professionals spend cognitive energy proportionally to a decision's complexity, not its actual impact. A $50 monthly tool gets 3 hours of research. A $5,000 client proposal gets the same 3 hours. The thinking time is equal, the financial outcome is not. This creates a compounding tax on execution speed, because while you're still thinking, others are already iterating, learning, and capturing market position. In fast moving fields, the cost of delayed execution often exceeds the cost of a wrong decision. Yet intelligent people continue to optimize for decision perfection rather than decision velocity. The hidden cost isn't just time, it's the opportunity cost of not being in motion. The brain treats all thinking as metabolically expensive. Decision making, analysis, and strategic reasoning all draw from the same cognitive resource pool, executive function. This isn't infinite. Research in cognitive psychology shows that decision quality follows a curve. Early analysis produces steep gains in accuracy, but after a certain threshold, usually reached faster than people expect, additional thinking yields marginal improvements while consuming exponential mental energy. This is called the analysis paralysis threshold. For most business decisions, it occurs between 20 and 40% of the time people actually spend on them. The mechanism is simple. Your brain is solving for certainty in an uncertain system. More data doesn't reduce uncertainty. It increases the cognitive load required to process conflicting information. This is why experienced executives often make faster decisions than junior analysts, despite having access to the same information. They've learned to identify the 2 to 3 variables that actually matter and ignore the rest. The junior analyst is still trying to integrate everything. One is optimizing for speed, the other is optimizing for completeness. Completeness feels safer, but it doesn't compound. Speed does. Here's a structured system for reducing cognitive overhead while improving financial outcomes. This is called the Decision Velocity Framework. It has 3 layers. Layer 1, Decision Classification, Pre-filter. Before you think, classify the decision type. There are only 3. Type 1, reversible, low-cost decisions, can be undone or adjusted within 30 days. Financial exposure under $500 or 5 hours of work. Examples: tools, minor hires, small experiments. Rule: decide in under 15 minutes. Execute immediately. Type 2, reversible, high impact decisions, can be adjusted but requires effort. Significant financial or reputational exposure. Examples: pricing strategy, partnerships, product direction. Rule: time box analysis to 2 to 4 hours. Decide within 48 hours. Type 3: irreversible, high stakes decisions. Cannot be easily undone. Structural impact on business or career. Examples: co founder agreements, acquisitions, major pivots. Rule: deep analysis justified, but set a firm deadline, 5 to 7 days max. Most professionals treat type 1 decisions like type 3 decisions. This is where cognitive overhead begins. Layer 2: information threshold, stop rule. For each decision type, define the minimum information required, not the maximum, the minimum. Type 1 decisions: one trusted source or precedent. Gut check, alignment with goals. Type 2 decisions: 2 to 3 key data points. One external perspective. Clear success, fail criteria. Type 3 decisions: full scenario modeling, stakeholder input, legal financial review. The rule is simple. Once you hit the threshold, stop researching. Additional information past this point increases confidence by 5 to 10%, but delays execution by 200 to 300%. The math doesn't work. Layer 3: execution bias. Default to motion. The framework's final layer is a forcing function. If a decision remains unclear after the time limit, the default is action, not more analysis. This sounds reckless. It's not. Here's why. In environments with fast feedback loops, most knowledge work, most markets, most creative fields, execution produces information faster than analysis. One labeled think more, one labeled test and learn. A wrong decision executed quickly can be corrected in one iteration cycle. A perfect decision delayed by overthinking often arrives after the opportunity window closes. The question isn't, am I 100% sure? The question is, do I have enough information to take an intelligent first step? If yes, move. Let's apply this to real financial outcomes. Scenario 1: freelance consultant. A consultant spends 6 hours researching the perfect project management tool. Opportunity cost: 6 billable hours at $150 per hour equals $900. Actual decision impact: choosing between tools with 95% feature overlap. Net financial cost of overthinking: $900 plus delayed client work. Correct approach using the framework. Classify: type 1, reversible, low cost. Information threshold: read 2 reviews, pick one. Time limit: 15 minutes. Execute: adjust if needed in 30 days. Time saved: 5 hours, 45 minutes. Financial gain: $862.50 in recovered billable time. Over a year, this pattern applied to 20 similar decisions equals $17,250 in recovered income. Scenario 2: startup founder. A founder delays launching a product feature for 3 months to perfect the design. Competitor launches a similar feature in week 2. Market position captured. Competitor. By month 3, the founder's feature is technically better, but irrelevant. Revenue impact: $50,000 in lost early adopter contracts. Correct approach. Classify: type 2, reversible, high impact. Information threshold: minimum viable quality plus user feedback plan. Time limit: 2 weeks to ship, iterate based on data. Outcome: captures market timing, iterates with real user data, builds faster than competitor. Revenue impact: $50,000 captured plus $30,000 in iteration based improvements equals $80,000 swing. The pattern is consistent. Thinking speed compounds. Decision velocity creates more learning cycles. More cycles create better information than prolonged analysis. In most professional contexts, the person who moves faster doesn't just win the race, they run more races. Thinking is not the problem. Unstructured thinking is. The framework is simple. Classify the decision. Define the information threshold. Enforce the time limit. Default to motion. This isn't about thinking less in every case. It's about thinking precisely in proportion to a decision's reversibility and financial impact. Most high income professionals don't think harder than others. They think faster, with better filters, and they move. Because in execution driven fields, motion is information, and information compounds into income. Here's a question worth examining. What's one decision you're currently overthinking that, if you classified it honestly, would fall into type 1 or type 2, but you're treating like type 3? Most of us have at least one. If this kind of analysis is useful to you, this channel studies how thinking quality shapes execution, decisions, and financial outcomes. You're welcome to subscribe if this is the kind of work you value. Next, we'll examine why intelligent people often delay action even after they've already decided, and the hidden performance cost of what we call decision lag. Until next time, observe your mind, refine your decisions.